We are in my parents' garden right now, and it is very nice, very relaxing. However, their office is not. And since I'm stuck here for now, and I'm the only one using it, I thought I would do something about it. So join me as we build a desk and other aspects of the room. I think I'm going to break this down into 2 or 3 pieces, so by the end of it we should have a satisfying reveal. I hope. I'm new to this, so please be kind. And with that being said, let's get started. So this is the space we are working with, and it definitely needs a little bit of love and an upgrade. We are going to kick this whole thing off by building our desk, which starts with picking materials for the desktop. We purchased this piece of Baltic birch plywood at our local lumber store, and though it needs a lot of work, it is a great starting off point. We cut it down from 60 by 35 to 60 by 30 inches using a circular saw and guide. We began prep by sanding with an orbital sander at 120 grit and moved up to 220, then 320. Pommy guards us while we do projects, keeping us safe from school buses and people with hats. Connor is beveling the wood to round out the corners and get rid of the sharp edge. He then moved on to doing some fine sanding with an orbital buffer. This plywood had a fair amount of lamination ripples, so it took some time to sand them all out. And here is a nicely beveled edge. To complete wood prep before the first coat, we cleaned the wood with a damp cloth and an air gun. Having an air compressor is a luxury, but in these circumstances, it really comes in clutch. Take a look at that green! She purty! We decided to apply poly directly onto the wood rather than a stain because I really loved the natural tones. The sound of the air compressor makes Pommy anxious, so unfortunately, we will have to bark at people ourselves from here on out. Here, I'm doing some fine sanding in between coats. Typically you do this by hand, but we sprayed on a little thick so the orbital buffer saved us some time. And I'm definitely a beginner at this, so this was a first for me. I then moved on to fine hand sanding with a block and 320 grit to prep for the final coat of poly. Finally, to get the loose poly dust off the table, we will wipe it down with a microfiber towel cloth and some mineral spirits. Our next steps are going to be clearing out the room and putting the desk together. And now we are going to clear out this room. Let's do it. Trash. Trash. It always gets messier before it gets better, doesn't it? So, the thing is that the reason why there's all these things on the floor is because a couple weeks ago I had to go through this whole room anyways because we were replacing the carpet in my parents' house. So I already kind of prepped the room a bit.
This is our monitor stand. B-roll.
Oh.
B-roll.
That's not
Is this B-roll?
with me in the background.
Am I B-roll? Ooh, is he going on the desk? Doesn't this guy deserve his moment to shine?
I mean, if my mom wants it, yes. But it's Indonesian, okay? We respect it. I've already started. I think this is one leg that we're putting in here. Page 4. Oh!
I have some measuring tools and tape to mark off to make sure that we have exact even placing for these legs.
Right under 13. 13. So we got a mountable power strip to go under the desk. And then we got cable management. So we're also going to be putting this on the bottom and the back so that all the wires are nice and hidden because we don't want to see that. I got these drilling bit guides because I need some help. You can put tape to, know how much you need to drill the hole through the thickness of the wood, but instead we got these guides. See? Isn't it cute? See, now I can't mess up. I've decided that we're going to put these threaded inserts into the desk so that the desk is removable for the future, because I don't think this desk will be permanent in this room. I think this is lazy girl. Lazy girl. Way to do it. When you're inserting these threads, that the drill bit is slightly bigger than the actual thread, because otherwise you can't thread them.
We're using these little stickies because it was jiggling on the bottom and making bad noise, and my guess is when the desk started lifting up or like going down, it would have made that sound. So we just stick these little feet pads to the bottom. All this measuring.
Flawless.
Flawless. Hello?
Another flawless application.
I don't know what's going on there.
She's going on. I think this is lazy girl. Vibes. Yeah. Connor has been waiting to use this monitor arm since the start of this project. I think it might have something to do with the name. So Connor is going to quickly assemble this and attach it to the desk, since this is the last permanent fixture we need to mount before we can move on to accessories and other parts of the room. So this last part that we're going to cover is just a little DIY. I thought that we could make some speakers because Connor and I were musicians. We were trained as musicians, so sound quality is really important for us. We started with these cute little mica speakers. Our goal here was to make them slightly more stylish and personalized. Firstly, we disassembled them to be able to redo the finish without damaging the electronics or the speaker cones. We are going to have to remove these wires with a soldering iron. Next, we are adding wood filler to the holes in front to have a flush finish. We are using a light brown leatherette to cover the speakers. It has a peel and stick backing, which makes it fairly easy to adhere to whatever material you are using. Next, I'm cutting the correct size pieces to fit the depth of the speaker. We start by placing the seam on the bottom and using amazing teamwork to wrap it all the way around. This is a part I did not want to do. I was not comfortable, so I made my boyfriend do it. We then wrapped the edges with frog tape so that we would not scrape the edge while cutting the front piece. My inspo was to go for more of a vintage look in order to add a bit more warmth and soften the harsh black of the monitor. And finally here we are putting everything back together. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Editing Kiara here. I did forget to mention a couple important things. This is part 1 to a 2-part makeover. In part 2, we'll be styling, painting the walls, designing the room. So stick around for that. Also, all links of the materials will be in the description box below. So sorry for the interruption. I've had a wonderful time trying to figure all this out. So if you want to follow for more projects, there's more to come, and yeah, that's it. Bye!